From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Sunday, May 14th, 2017. Silver's trading at $16.46 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,228 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 1.6 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $1,786. Antiwar.com reports, according to the Syrian state media, 1,246 people, including 718 rebels, were evacuated from the districts of Barza and Tishreen near the Damascus suburb of eastern Ghouta. They were being evacuated northward towards the rebel-held areas around the Idlib province. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights confirmed the evacuation, though their numbers were much smaller. They appear to have been preliminary figures based primarily around Barza. The rebels are holding dwindling territory in eastern Ghouta, which is surrounded by government forces. This is the latest in a long line of local evacuation deals, which have allowed rebels and civilians in areas that are no longer defensible to withdraw to other rebel-held areas, which also saves the Syrian government from having to conduct high-casualty offensives or protracted sieges. Rebel infighting in eastern Ghouta has allowed the Syrian military to increase the pressure on the area's outskirts, which is increasing the rate at which the rebels are losing ground. This is materially the last real area around which the rebels still control territory in Metro Damascus. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports a Kentucky appeals court ruled in favor of a Christian t-shirt store owner who in 2012 refused to print shirts promoting the Lexington, Kentucky Gay Pride Festival. The case is the most recent in a string of legal disputes testing the extent to which LGBT individuals are protected from discrimination. Other courts have largely ruled in favor of same-sex couples who have sued business owners, including florists, cake makers, and photographers who, citing religious beliefs, refuse to provide services for weddings. The Kentucky case is unique in that the service being disputed on First Amendment grounds is literally the printing of words on a t-shirt. The shirts were to contain a stylized numeral 5, signifying the 5th anniversary of the festival's founding, along with the words Lexington Pride Festival and a list of sponsors on the back. Citing a Fayette County ordinance prohibiting discrimination based on sexual orientation, the county's Human Rights Commission ruled against the store, Hands On Originals, and its business owner Blaine Adamson, who sued to overturn the ruling. A lower court ruling invalidated the commission's finding, which did not include any punitive damages against Adamson. In a split 2-1 decision, the appeals court ruled in favor of Hands On Originals, saying the county ordinance did not mean Adamson is required to promote a group's message if it violates his religious beliefs. Adamson told local officials he would serve LGBT individuals at his store as long as the shirts they ordered did not promote their sexuality. He said he refused to print the Pride Festival shirts because it's advocating pride in being gay and being homosexual, adding, "I can't promote that message." A rival Cincinnati-based t-shirt company eventually donated 500 of the shirts to the festival as a show of support. Writing for the majority, Kentucky Appellate Court Chief Judge Joy Kramer said LGBT rights were not discriminated against because the county's ordinance does not guarantee individuals the right to use other people's property to amplify their message. Judge Jeff Taylor wrote in dissent that granting individuals the right to censor the LGBT community's message would render the county's non-discrimination ordinance essentially meaningless. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a Russian-owned group of companies has agreed to pay nearly $6 million to settle U.S. civil allegations that their firms laundered proceeds of a $230 million tax fraud, ending a politically charged case days before it was set to go to trial. Federal prosecutors in New York announced late Friday the surprise settlement between the U.S. government and Russian businessman Denis Katsev, the owner of Prevazon Holdings, as both sides were preparing to bring a 3-year case to trial next week. The settlement comes after Prevazon was hit with key setbacks last week. U.S. District Judge William Pauley denied a summary judgment motion by the defense and granted a government motion to admit evidence from a Russian criminal case. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.